Recovering from realizing your life with a narcissist was a lie. Have you ever felt like your entire reality was ripped out from under you? Like everything you thought was true and real was actually a meticulously constructed lie that victims of narcissistic abuse face when they finally realize the person they loved, trusted, and sacrificed was just a master of deception. If you or someone you know has been through this mind bending experience, then this video is for you. We are going to delve into the unique trauma of having to grieve not just a relationship but an entire false existence. It's time to reveal your truth and find your way back to an authentic life after toxic lies. So settle in, because by the end of this video you will have the tools to overcome the narcissist twisted fiction and write your own empowered reality. But before we dive in, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. This is just about exposing these malignant manipulators and making sure their victims have the support to heal. Let's get started. The house of lies comes crumbling down. It starts small, doesn't it? Little inconsistent half-truths, weird lapses in their stories that just don't quite add up. But those sneaky narcissists are masters at damage control, deflecting and straight up gaslighting you into believing the lie for a while. Maybe you discovered odd charges on a credit card that didn't make sense, or an email from a secret gambling account they swore didn't exist. Could be you caught them in a bald-faced lie about their whereabouts when their mate from work spilled the truth. However, it happens. That first crack in their facade is like a tiny pebble that triggers an avalanche of denial, anger, and worst of all, the horrifying realization that your entire reality was fiction. It's a soul-crushing moment when you realize the person you loved, made a life with, had kids with, was never who you thought. Funny how these Teflon narcissists love to dish out cruel nicknames for their partners like Gullible Gale or Clueless Carl. Little do they know, the biggest fools of all are them for living out this grandiose delusion. They are masterful deceivers. In reality, they're just sad, sacred little liars whose mask inevitably slip when the smiles in the photo album haunt you. As the avalanche of truth descends, you'll find yourself over those stories, now polluted by the knowledge of their lies. That happy family ski trip, he was sexting his side fling the time behind your back. Those intimate anniversary getaways, she was love bombing you to keep the cash cow around a little longer. Here is a horrific realization that those smiles in the pictures were fake, hollow, representative of mirage they spun to use. No wonder so many victims describe feeling like they lived a double life, where the person they shared a home, a bed, a life with was merely playing a role the whole time. And the sickest part? These chameleons have no issue compartmentalizing their sham of a life to keep up as it serves them. Like that executive who kept his cool wearing a wedding band at conferences, all while his wife spent months grieving a miscarriage. He never once. It's enough to make you question every warm and fuzzy memory, to the point where you wonder if you were just collective hallucinating the good times based on which they sold. The struggle is very real as you work to separate the actual events from the made up narratives and motivations. You assign them in the thrall of the narcissist spell. Rumination, the exhausting aftermath. So now that the truth bomb has obliterated your former reality, it's only natural for the obsessive events and clawing wise to seep in as you try to put the shattered pieces together. This is the rumination phase. And man, it's utterly draining. You will find yourself burrowing down these mental rabbit holes endlessly, looping on questions of why didn't I see the signs? How could I have opened? Why did no one warn me? And of course, the heart-wrenching was anything ever real between us? Or was it always a lie? The rumination is like being trapped in an emotional spin cycle, harshly wringing out all the energy and optimism you have left as you torture yourself over every last strange incident and red flag you gaslit yourself into missing. It's a vicious mind prison where the narcissist winds up stealing even more of your peace long after discarding you like spent fuel. It's in these weekend moments that you have to resist the urge to go full conspiracy theorist on friends and family, grilling them for insights into what they may have seen that you didn't. Sure, someone had to have suspicions that your soulmate was really a sociopathic sewage troll, right? But that's just the desperation and isolation talking. Grieving the loss of the person you once were, as much as the rumination beats you up over missed red flags, the deeper personal gut punch is having to grieve the naive, loving, blindly optimistic person you once were. The part of you that got mercilessly mugged by the narcissist. It's a self you may never get back. That bright-eyed, bushy-tailed who thought true love conquered all is dead, slayed by the soul-sucking succubi, who revealed the worst in humanity. So while you rage at yourself for not seeing the truth sooner, you're simultaneously mourning the loss of the hopeful, generous person. There's clearly a lot of trauma to work through as you put the jagged pieces of this nightmare together. The obsessive replays, the haunting memories, the self-admonishments, the existential identity crisis. It's a perfect storm of mental anguish to keep you trapped in perpetual torment. That's why you find strategies to detach and create space. Journaling, traditional counseling, support groups, links are in the description below. Creative outlets like art or music, whatever allows you to offload those toxic thought loops so they don't become an obsessive burden you carry. At the end of the day, the disordered lies and cruelty of the narcissist are a soul-staining void that you will never find the logic in. It's like staring into an abyss of incoherent chaos. The more you try make sense of it, the more it chips away at your own sanity. They are unreachable black holes whose emptiness can consume if you let it. But you have the power to put up the psychic guardrails by getting those thoughts out of your head and into a container you can take a break from. Get it out. Analyze it from a new perspective. Process the grief in stages. But don't let the narcissist keep spewing the mind poison into your psyche from the grave of that deceive relationship. You've got the strength and spirit of a warrior. We are just getting started on peeling back the narcissist manipulation layers and helping you. This channel is going to be an endless well of narcissist proofing tools, validation for what you have endured, and a safe your justifiable rage at these loathsome destroyer of trust and intimacy. I can't wait to have you join us on this transformative journey away from fiction and toward your reclaimed power. No more being the punching bag while they play make believe. You are about to become the author of your own life story, one fueled by authenticity, boundaries, and the freedom without scandalized deceptions clouding your spirit. The lies stop here. Subscribe and let's get liberation underway.